All right, so we're officially recording. You know how this goes.
Everybody, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Welcome to, where are we at, Mexico?
We're, just north of Argentina.
Or, yes. In the Pacific Northwest of Argentina.
Ardennes rainforest. Hunt Nazi artifacts. It is raining at day one of bear camp here in southeast northwestern Mexico.
Yeah, it's wet. We are in some of that Argentine brush, huckleberry brush, if you will.
Yeah. Some bunkers, hidden bunkers.
Yeah. Some hidden bunkers that were used to escape.
Abe, what is the format of this podcast? What do we want to try to do here?
Well, I think what we're gonna do. We're at bear camp. We're with Eric. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Erk Aakhus from Fargo, North Dakota. Pardon my
He's
northern
pretty much
Minnesota
a fucking
accent.
Canadian, really. Like I think you're a closet Canadian. That's my guess. But
I mean, I do use the term "a" appropriately. You turn a statement into a question.
guys,
I've heard it a couple times.
he is a good dude. Don't hold it against him, eh?
You hoser. And then obviously the dulcet tones of Jeff Bynum.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. And we're actually not like doing it on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
We're in person for the first time in probably 4 or 5 years.
It's been a minute, man.
It's been a hot minute.
It's that embrace at the airport was awkwardly long.
It was, just
I'm super
I didn't know when to let go.
super mad I missed that one.
No, it would have been even weirder with you there because we both had pudgies.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I'm just like, oh.
Hands a little too far down, shall we say?
Yeah, they were mid-waist.
Yeah.
I think, for sure. So.
Yeah.
But we are on a bear hunt for a week.
Yeah.
And this is day one. I guess we got technically yesterday would have been, technically day one. But we were here kind of mid-afternoon and did a camp setup.
Yeah, we got camp. We did a little scouting. Found some good country. Got some good local intel.
Yes, sir.
Seen some elk, some mule deer, some whitetail.
So our elk count as of day one is...
You guys saw, we saw 3 on Thursday, so 16.
16 elk, yeah.
Yep.
16 elk. We're at 1 or 2 whitetails.
Yeah.
There might have been 3 in that bunch.
I don't think we're really keeping track of the mule deer, but I think we're at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
A couple does. No bears. But
we saw some bear shit.
Nice.
But we did see the rare sighting of a mountain lion.
Yeah. That was a bit of a fire drill. I appreciate the help on that, boys. Unfortunately, this story does not end with a dead mountain lion.
No. But I'll say this for a couple dudes who have not really... We've never hunted together.
Yeah.
To kind of have that, oh shit, and then kind of just everybody responded in an appropriate fashion to kind of handle at least getting you into to place. So
so back us up and let's start from the beginning on how this whole thing went down.
Yeah, I mean, so we kind of this morning, I guess we just scouted for a bunch, kind of dodged. No, it was pretty nice this morning. Not any real rain.
Yeah. No, it was honestly a beautiful morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning.
Mid-40s.
Fog up high a little bit, but we had to let it burn off.
Yeah.
Eric did a good job e-scouting, and he had a pen like none of us have been in this country before, and so he figured out some good glassing points. We walked into this spot, and it was beautiful. I mean, some of the best looking bear country I've ever seen.
For the fact that you just found it on Google Earth.
Yeah.
You couldn't have asked for a better spot.
Yeah.
And
imagine,
it's a spot where we could have taken a poke across the canyon as well. It wasn't one that we were trying to figure out how to make a play. Yeah. So it was a good
The play
spot.
would have been how to get the hell over there.
What did we do?
What do we have to do? Somebody have a zip line, a grappling hook or something we could have thrown over there. But, it was beautiful. Great morning. And then went to the second spot.
Yeah.
Put a little glass in there. And then it was nap time. Turkey sandwich and nap time.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing, Abe, you've got to get used to mountains. I mean, so we're driving some mountain roads, and at one point you bailed out of my freaking truck. Like it was, I think it was still moving, and you freaking, I'm out.
Well, in fairness, we were in 4 or 5 inches of snow, and the truck was sideways. And I was like,
And the sideways part was on Abe's side of the road,
while
Jeff is over there on the uphill side,
just giggling, laughing.
Jeff is just
putting the throttle.
Let's go.
Let's test out these new tires.
Exactly. I mean, it handled it fine, but I was just I really had to get out just to I think my anus was going to start cramping. There's no way you could get a needle up there. That's 100% sure.
It's the way I like them.
Yeah. Just tight, tight butthole. So running those roads is always it's always a little nerve-wracking at first,
Yeah.
One aspect, though, we had to go figure out, talk about e-scouting, finding the pin, was where was the snow line at?
Yep.
There's an aspect of we had an idea where it might be based on, intel from a couple years ago.
Yep.
But even this year, looking at it, it was way down lower. So some of the spots we were looking at, we had to go figure out how far we could get up.
Yeah, there's a lot more snow this year. It makes it tricky. I think as the week progresses, it's actually going to be a benefit to us, though, because I think it's going to concentrate the bears. But this year, bears aren't like elk. They don't. It's not like, September 22nd's peak rut for bears. No, bears wake up kind of when they feel like, okay, there's enough food to wake up and survive. And with so much snow this year, it's a little bit late. So normally the last week of May, beginning of June in northern Mexico is some of the best bear hunting that you've ever seen. But I think we're right at the beginning of when it's going to start to get good.
I have a feeling we were talking on the way in that we really thought our chances were going to be the best Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to hold true.
I think so. I feel like most Western hunts, it takes a couple days to figure out where animals are at, what elevations, all that type of stuff. You mess up some stalks like I did tonight.
Yep.
And then you get some animals on the ground. So my goal on this is to send a Texas boy home with a bear. That
would be awesome.
I've killed a pile of bears. They're cool. I want to kill them just because of the predation issue, and
which we saw today.
Yeah, we did see that today. So take us into that. What happened this afternoon?
So we kind of came back here and took a nap, and middle of the afternoon, and then woke up. And we're gonna go do our afternoon glassing session, which I guess to just completely derail. I'm so shocked by how long the day is here. I mean, the fact that it was 4 a.m. this morning, and it was just
daylight.
You didn't need a headlamp.
No.
Yeah, you 100% walked out, and it was.
You could shoot. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's crazy. Is it just like anywhere else? 30 minutes before sun up.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 30 minutes between sun up and sunrise.
It's whether or not you want to wake up that early right now.
Yeah.
We're getting up there pretty early.
Yeah. 4 o'clock came. I went out to take a leak, and I was shocked at how light it was.
You could see your pecker.
Yeah, I could see it, and it was great. And then just the fact that last night was light until 9:30.
Yep.
So it's a long day. So, which leads us into the fact that we were setting up to glass about 5 o'clock, and have just an absolute banger location to glass.
Yeah.
It's I feel like that's the textbook spot to glass.
I think we're going to kill a bear out of that drainage.
A huge amount of
there's
real estate to look at.
Yeah, there's a ton of bears in there.
I'm going to go back to what you said earlier, Abe. You mentioned that Wednesday, Thursday might be the hot day. If we see one tomorrow, are you going to shoot it, or are you going to wait till Wednesday, Thursday to fulfill your...
I am 100% shooting the first, legal bear I can shoot.
Yeah.
I am not playing the, we'll wait until I get another one under my belt. When I come back up here next year, and I'm like, we'll let the smaller one. No, first one with no cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting a 308.
Yeah.
Through the Boilermaker.
Eat some lead.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Or that glassing spot we had. We found it this morning.
Yep.
So we were going to go back up to it.
And so we smartly decided to not just like roll to the place where we were. We decided to kind of creep in and glass because we have kind of both sides of this big drainage we can see from the angle that the road comes in. So, to be able to kind of stop, we got out and we were just looking and nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. We weren't seeing anything. And then we heard an elk bark at us.
Yep.
And there was a discussion of which direction it came from because we were like, what?
It's like my eyesight. My ears might not be the greatest anymore either.
Well, I mean, I thought I couldn't tell either, really. I was like, I just heard it, and it was just like, it sounded like it could have been that direction.
Yeah.
And so we were talking.
I was 180 degrees off.
And
it's like Three Stooges. Like,
we're all pointing kind of in a different direction of like where it came from. And so.
What Three Stooge would I be?
Curly, for sure.
Curly, Curly.
Okay.
Curly.
Got it.
Larry and Mo. So then we kind of we were like, well, okay, where's that coming from? And you spotted her. You saw the elk the first time
and it was a weird spot because Jeff's throwing up, hey, it's back behind us because elk barking. We're like, the wind's going up, thermals are still going up.
Yeah, I thought it was barking at us for sure.
Known, unless she was like right there in front of us.
Yeah.
So, like, where we were glassing from, you could see the hillside that's basically above where we wanted to glass from. But then I started walking farther after that elk barking. I'm like, where's this coming from? And you just get over a crest hill between, like, two trees.
Yeah.
And you look down at, like, a 30-degree angle. You're like, all right, there's that golden body of that elk. Yeah. There's that nice
golden
blonde
white ass pointing right back at you. Mm. And she was on full alert.
Yes.
Not even not even in our direction.
Yeah.
She was just dead, like ears forward, and like whole body language was just pinpointed in a certain direction. And so we were just kind of like, all right, well, is there another one or what's going on? And I happened to just be looking at her and just kind of like saw her direction and then just try to like trace that line of sight.
She was standing on this old logging road below us, probably 300 yards away, 400 yards away.
I mean, you could 100% make her out with your. You'd see her once we caught her on the binoculars. So.
And you're looking around trying to figure out what she's looking at. Yeah. Like I'm like, we're bear hunting. I'm like, oh, is there a bear nearby?
My dumb brain looks and sees, like, I've looked the direction, and I like, this gold thing comes around the corner, and I'm like, is that a fucking golden retriever? Like,
who's got their lab up here?
The lab is up here, and it was running, and she just took after it, and I was like, what the hell? And then it turned, and I saw that big tail. I was like, oh my god, that's a mountain lion. And
I'm like, oh my god, where? I don't see it.
The effect of what happens when you pour gas on a fire.
Oh,
just, boom, that's exactly what happened in this group. We're just like, oh god, where do we go? Let's go. Wait, is it even in season? I wish it would,
My gut instinct was to grab my gun and shoot it regardless, but I was like, I really would love to kill a mountain lion legally.
Yeah,
exactly. Nice.
Try to play by the rules, type of thing.
I'm so glad when we stopped to get my hunting license at that little gas station.
Yeah.
That she handed us the regs, and you're like, we're good. And she was like, here you go. That has all the rules. And it's just like,
I know the rules.
We'll get back to her condescending her questions that she had for me. But
I will make note. I do have the regs downloaded on my phone for a quick PDF search.
That's a pro tip.
Yeah,
that's a pro tip.
Yeah.
But just as fast to flip through a paper book as me try to get on my phone. And
I know it's you run back to the truck and the two of us are just like, he's trying to find it, I'm trying to find it, and then all of a sudden you come running up with a gun like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then we're like 5 feet, stop, get my backpack. So I was like, all right.
So we got Jeff over here just telling us to go get stuff for him.
I turned into a full princess because I was the only one of the mountain lion tag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was perfect the way it happened.
Yeah.
So then we made probably a 800, 900 yard road dash to try to get on top, try to see it.
So we took off down the road. We were trying to get an angle on this thing, and the further we went down the road, the less view we had, and then I remembered, hey, we got a predator call.
Yep.
So then I bark orders at Eric. I'm like, hey, go grab the predator call.
Yeah. I figured, Abe got the backpack and he was running back with the backpack. I'm there just with my bino harness. I'm like, all right, it's my turn to go.
Yeah.
To go haul ass with some weight. So I'm like, okay, I'll take my turn.
So we get, I don't know, 600-700 yards probably down the road, trying to get a better angle on this thing, and if we could have seen it, I could have shot from right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Not a problem, but we just kept losing view of this, and the whole time you could hear this elk just down there, just barking and barking and barking, and so right now it's calving season. Elk are dropping their calves, and so I pretty much assumed like, oh, it's got a calf there. That mountain lion is trying to freaking get the calf, and that elk is trying to pull that mountain lion away from the calf.
Can I make note of how many calves we have seen though so far?
Well, that would be one dead one.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We've seen 16 elk and now one dead calf. So anyways, we get down there. Wind is wrong. I'm like, let's go back. Let's go back, and we start going back. We're trying to figure out how to put a play on this thing, and I decide I'm just gonna drop off this frickin' mountainside and sneak in there. And so that's where I leave the two of you.
And this is your story from here on out, because the story for Eric and I was we went back and we glassed for a little bit. It started to rain. We're like,
shut the window.
Let's get in the truck and burn Jeff's gas.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. So I drop off this hillside and navigating through the brush, trying to play the wind, and I have to zigzag back and forth because the wind is swirling. We're starting to get thermal shift, and they're below me. It's in the evening, and I'm like, I've got a small window of time to get down there. So, and brush is just horrible up here. It's sprinkling, and I get pretty dang close, and the whole time, this freaking cow is just barking and barking and barking, and it probably takes me 15-20 minutes to get down there.
Yeah. Were you able to use the cow bark as like a location of where I got to try to get to?
Oh,
Did that help a lot?
Yeah, no, that was, she was right there on top of where this whole thing went down until I got down there. So I finally circled around, and I dropped down, and I got onto the road that everything went down on. Mm-hmm. And so I get to the road. It's starting to rain pretty freaking hard at this point. I've got a load in my gun. I'm shooting a 300 Win mag. I've got my scope dialed all the way as low power as it can go, and I'm just creeping along the edge of this road. And I go probably 30-40 yards, and I start to slow down. I'm taking one step and just staring into the brush, and I can hear the bark still going. And at this point, I can hear the calf, and the calf is calling for its mom, and you could hear blood gurgling as this calf is calling for its mom. Dang. And I knew that mountain lion was on. I could literally hear the life leaving out of this calf, and it was I was on the road. They were down below me. And I'm standing there right where they dropped off. They were right in the same spot you saw them. Yeah. And it was like this little rocky bank with a thick brush down below it, about 10 yards, and a little bit of a drop. And so I couldn't quite see over that. And so I'm just creeping and peeking up over the edge, and I'm just looking for any bit of fur. And I'm looking, and all of a sudden this freaking cat comes barreling out of there. And I see two big mounts. He was a full-size tom, mature cat. I mean, I can't judge like, oh, he was a Boone and Crockett cat or whatever, but he was a mature tom.
It was the biggest cat I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which is the only cat I've ever seen. So just for reference, everybody out there, So
yeah, I've seen. I think I counted 7 cats in my life, and he was by far the biggest cat I've ever seen too.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And he just, it wasn't the wind. I think he was laying on the calf elk, and I think he probably still had a hold of its throat, or was just like the calf had just died within probably 60 seconds of me showing up.
Yeah.
And so he bounded off. I almost shot the brush. I really wanted to. Yeah. This is I do a lot of killing with my 30-30 lever action. That's like shooting a shotgun. It's just instinctual.
If you would have had it would have taken another. It would have snuffed another life out.
Yeah, I would have at least. I would have gotten a shot off, but I just couldn't get my 300 on it, and it was where I was at to the cat was 8 to 10 yards. I mean, he was right there.
Yeah.
And, that little voice in the back of my head, like, let's not make Tracy right. Like, Tracy's all freaked out about you dying up here.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. She's worried about me, and I'm just like, okay, here's the deal. It wasn't me that died.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. But Jeff got eaten by a mountain lion.
Yeah.
So, quick question: can you enlighten us on the brush up here in the Mexican mountains that the cat was in, like height-wise, depth?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably, so it's huckleberry brush, and everybody thinks, oh, huckleberries, these cute little bushes. Like, no, they're like 5-6 foot deep.
Yeah.
Just
they're great to look at, not to walk through.
No,
no,
and it is dumping rain at this point, straight up downpour. You can probably still hear it raining. We're sitting here by the fire.
Yeah, we were completely socked into. I mean, by the time that we got back to the truck and it started raining, there was literally 40 feet of visibility. Maybe a little bit. I could see maybe 100 yards down. Yeah. And I was just waiting for you and like, okay, hopefully.
We did have the conversation of, do we give him like an hour and a half?
How long
try
do
to
we
find
wait
him?
for him?
Did he break an ankle down there?
Yeah, no. No, I would have shot my gun off. I told you guys, you hear gunshots, come down, and
I had the window cracked enough not to let a lot of heat out, though. Because
you guys were
we were drying off, shall we say?
I did come from 90-degree weather to 48-degree weather, so it's a little different up here.
Yeah.
And to quote Abe earlier, he said it feels warmer today.
It did feel a little warmer.
You've acclimated well. I'm impressed, man.
I ran around in shorts all day yesterday.
I know.
Like a proper piece of shit.
Yeah.
With his boots on and his socks up to like mid shin.
Yeah.
You fit into North Mexico?
Yeah, North Mexico. Yeah.
No, so to wrap it up, got close, man. I want to kill a mountain lion so bad, and especially that, like, the amount of elk we've seen some big, like, some groups, some big pockets of elk, and not a freaking calf.
Yeah.
And that's just par for the course up here. I know for elk, mountain lions are the number one predator. Wolves are bad. Bears are bad, too. That's why we're up here trying to kill some. So
trying to take one out of the population at least.
Yeah, it'd be great. We're gonna get a bear killed for sure.
And Jeff, quick question: like spot and stalking a mountain lion, how typical is that?
I don't know. You got to be a special kind of stupid. I think.
So it's like, hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's go down in there.
I don't have a soul anyway, so it's like, what do I got to lose?
100%.
Make my wife rich.
Exactly. She's just like, oh, damn it. Get in there and get that thing. Don't let it go.
That's the second cat I've stalked. First cat, it was hunting the same mule deer as me, and I cut its tracks in the snow, and I got up to where I knew this cat was right below me because I walked in on the road, and it had walked on my tracks, and it was down below me in the brush and some reprod, and it's like, which is same type of stuff that we were in today, reprod and huckleberry brush, and no, I ain't going in that after it.
No.
So no.
Well, we know where one's at, so who knows? Day 2 may have a handful of predators in camp.
Yeah.
Dude. The taxidermist bill that can come out of this camp.
Oh.
We've got a bunch of wolf tags.
Bunch of bear tags.
And
mountain lion tag.
Would you soft stuff the mountain lion?
No, I would not soft stuff. I'd soft stuff a wolf. Yeah. There's a lot of other things I'd soft stuff. That's a different story.
Yes,
but
that'll be stay tuned. For that. That'll be bear camp after dark.
But no, a mountain lion, like, it would just look too freaking good. All pissed off, like on a log or something.
You could have brought that calf out, and you could have had that mounted together.
Yes. I feel like if I got a mountain lion, I would like to have just like a rock ledge with like a front paw and a back paw hanging off, the tail kind of down. I think that would be such a badass thing in like a hallway if somebody just like walks into your house and like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Mountain lion just chilling on a rock and you're hanging off your wall.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen for me one of these days. We'll make it happen.
No doubt.
So
we left out the most fruitful effort that we had today, which was a solid afternoon of morel picking.
Oh, yes.
That was I popped my cherry on that today.
You popped your mushroom cherry.
We're driving down the highway looking for morels in a relatively new fire.
Yep.
And you just stopped, and I'm like, oh, we're doing this here? Because that's a vertical cliff you want us to climb up. You know, you're like, yeah, let's go up here. I'm just like, no, this is... And we climbed probably 1,000 feet. I mean, maybe not 1,000 feet. I don't know. How high did we get off the road?
It was like 100 feet.
That was 100 feet.
Yeah, it was. I mean, to Texas, though, that was a mountain.
I was like, Jesus, this is really high up.
Where am I at? The hill country? What is this?
Yeah, wow.
Like 2 feet horizontal was like 6 feet vertical.
Yeah,
that's about how steep it was.
It was probably like a 40-50 degree angle. I mean, in a fresh fire, that was last year's fire, the dirt is just like, it's unstable. So you take a step and you fall right on your face. I mean, I watched you fall.
I fell hard twice.
Yeah.
And I fell gracefully unimaginable about
Yeah,
that.
I couldn't even have counted.
I really just kind of sat on my ass and scooted a lot of what it was. There was a lot of bear crawling.
Yeah.
But
we got some mushrooms. We spent 30 minutes on that hillside and
a gallon bag of them out.
Yeah, we're gonna eat some morels here in camp. That's like religion up here in North Mexico.
Yes.
So welcome to the club, buddy.
I mean, first mountain lion, first morel. This has been a hell of an adventure.
We're obviously not the best hunters, so we might as well do some gathering.
Hey, exactly. I'm in.
We can gather some nuts later.
There he is. There's that Canadian. So
he's over here drinking moose drool and
talking about hockey.
Yeah, hockey. It's all about the Canadian.
You want to go on my boat later?
Yeah.
A boat?
I did. Did we see when we went up to a little town over here? Did you see the boat that somebody was driving up the river on?
No, I missed it.
One of the guys at the park was like, "Who the hell would bring a boat this far up here?" You know, that guy like it was just like one of those things where it was trying to go upriver and it was just like not. It was like moving but just like full motor and just like.
Oh, jeez.
And then it whipped around, and when it spun around. It literally went down the river like 30 feet, just like spinning around, and he cranked that thing and went back down. But
yeah, this is not a river for boats.
No, but on the way in, we did see some boat racing.
Yeah,
some jet boat racing. So, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That's an annual thing that. Everybody comes out of their shacks and like unthaws on the side of the road and watches drift boats and
it's pretty cool up here. I like it. We're down here wherever we're at. I don't know. I'm not sure. I pretty much stay blackout drunk, so the only way to really effectively do this.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of many.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this kind of nightly around the campfire. Well, what's left of our fire here?
I think our fire went out.
Yeah, it is out, but
the rain hasn't helped.
No, it's a kind of constant struggle. But I feel like today is our big rain day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a half rain day.
And then we get some good weather.
And then
I think we pour gas on the fire.
It's killing time.
So should we try to make a prediction what's going to happen tomorrow?
Oh.
Or are we butting ourselves in the foot here with that? Or
we tried some predictions on the way up tonight.
And it stoked a little bit.
It
stoked a little
got some
bit.
live action. So
there was an opportunity to kill something tonight. So
legally
kill something. Yeah, we're not just trying to kill as my friend Mr. Kennedy says, camp beer.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we I don't know what's your prediction then.
This rain that's been on and off all day.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, it's kind of looking maybe rain till about 6. We'll see on and off again. But after that, clear. I'm thinking we're gonna see some life spring on those mountainsides.
Yeah.
Like it's all coming out of the woodwork.
Well, I mean that's exactly kind of what happened today. When we kind of laid down for our nap, it was raining.
Yep.
It started to rain on us, and then it stopped as soon as we were going up there, and we saw tons of animals on the way up there, and obviously once we got up to the top. So
yeah, I think we've got a really solid game plan. I mean, we've got 10 or 15 other spots that we haven't even hit up here, so we got a lot of options. So I'm confident. I have a high level of confidence. We'll see where I'm at in a few days, but
as we're just like through cases of Busch Latte and just giving up.
It's hydration.
Yeah, just hydrating.
Yep. So
your prediction is
we're gonna see something tomorrow.
we're gonna see something. Okay.
Bears.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bears.
Okay.
I vote Bears.
How many bears do we see tomorrow?
I'm gonna say 2 because we're gonna get on the second one and kill it, and then we'll be busy with dealing with that one, so we won't see any more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it, man.
So your prediction is bear dies tomorrow.
I'm very optimistic.
I think that we see a bear tomorrow, and we learn from today's lesson of kind of the fire drill. And we're going to see it from far away.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend some time glassing. We'll spend some time debating on what we're going to do and putting a game plan together.
Yeah.
And as we leave, 2 cubs will come out.
That makes sense. That's happened to me.
As we're just like one last look back, and I'm just like, oh shit, there's 2 little black dots.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's part of the hunt, man. It's bound to happen. So, we are looking for boars, or dry sows is what they call them. Yep. But part of the reason we kill boars up here is one, they're the biggest predator for ungulates right now.
Yep.
Because fawns and calves are dropping for both deer, elk, and moose. Mm-hmm. And boars are going to kill cubs, other black bear cubs. They if they get a chance, they will kill a cub in a heartbeat because it forces the sow to go right back into heat. If they kill that cub, they'll just stay with the sow, and then the sow will breed because she lost her cub. Messed up world. So by trying to target boars up here, we're actually doing a lot of good for the animal population.
Is a bitch.
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch. She doesn't care.
Yep.
So your prediction tomorrow?
I think you're right. I think we are going to see a sow with cubs, but I also think that we're going to see a tank.
Yeah.
I'm going for a tank bear. And I don't know if it's going to be a huntable one, though. Yeah. Like, I think we find a tank in a spot that it's going to probably take us a whole nother day to figure out how to get to them. So, one of those, mile away with big glass, he's a freaking stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the country you've seen so far has been really promising. Because you're the more experienced bear hunter out of us two.
Yeah, and I shouldn't hold myself out as a pro bear hunter. I've killed a handful of them, but I've been up here for a while.
In this group, you're a pro bear hunter.
Yeah.
Maybe if there were other people here, you'd be maybe tier 2, tier 3. Right now, you were tier 1. You are.
Yeah, I got you guys fooled. So,
exactly.
let's keep it going. I like
this.
I like it.
You're like a hot chick that hangs out with fat girls.
Oh, yes.
Or like a medium hot chick who hangs out with, fat girls. Because, we instantly make you look better. So.
Yeah, there it is. I like it. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow. Are we going to keep this going, try to do a daily check-in?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, here's the deal. Let's try to do a daily check-in unless we're taking care of midnight. And we're doing that. And then we'll just catch you up on the day after that.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned because there's a sound, and you're about to hear me again.
Oh, man. Well, I think if you're listening to this podcast, you just heard us say that we'll check in every single day, and we didn't do that.
We thought about it one day.
And it's now August 5th, and we were hunting in May. So I guess it's one way to recap a podcast is 4 months later after we're done. So hell, I don't even live in the same house anymore when I went hunting with you guys. So
it was one of those mentally draining hunts, we had to have that time just to recap ourselves and come back together.
So if I remember correctly from the timeline, you just heard the recap of Jeff chasing a mountain lion down, or trying to chase a mountain lion down, as you know, at this point in the story. So I guess the rest of the weekend the rest of the week was relatively uneventful. We didn't shoot a bear, so I guess every single person's like, all right, cool, we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, you can hang up now. Yeah. So
we did have an encounter, which was good, and we saw, some chipmunks. We had a mule deer problem, like people have. Like New York is experiencing a pretty bad rat epidemic. I feel like that was the mule deer problem we had in our camp.
At least in camp, they love to come in and they almost took a 10 to the face. It was. I
mean, that one that was camping at your feet, Eric. It was just like sleeping at your feet outside of the tent on the other side of a thin canvas wall.
I bring in the ladies.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that is true.
Now, I would, just to kind of pull the curtain back on the trip, we did give Eric some movie watching assignments, and I'd like to know, have you seen Dazed and Confused?
I have not seen Dazed and Confused. I have found
you're
that
so fired.
My contact or my person I was going to help me watch it with has not fulfilled.
You just need to take this upon yourself. Like, don't watch it with anybody else. It's just a great movie to watch. You just need to fully focus, because I'm guessing this contact is a female, and all she's gonna do is ask you questions about things. So just watch it by yourself and then watch it with a girl. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Okay. Plus, you're gonna laugh at parts, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, you think that's funny?" So
you're a pervert.
You're a pervert.
Yes, I am.
A prevert.
A prevert. So, we're going to have to do another check-in call after elk season.
Oh, that can be done.
To see if you've watched Dazed and Confused. So
there's a couple elk hunts planning, and one of them is staying at we're Airbnb-ing it for our elk hunt. So
roughing it, huh?
Roughing it. Really embracing that that backcountry hunter. In the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Got a couple dads in there, guys. Some 60-year-olds.
I get it. Now, James and I, we were rolling through elk talk earlier last night, late last night, talking about our plans. So, and then Jeff, I talked to you the other day. You were well on your way for elk preparation as well. So,
yeah, man, I've got Idaho and Montana tags this year, and I've all kind of a lot of different places. But this is my first time in Montana, and there's so much terrain. It's crazy. I'm sitting here trying to e-scout, so we've been waiting for you to jump on, and I'm just like, oof, I'm not even sure what to do in some of this stuff. But we went to TAC. What was it, 2 weekends ago, last weekend, something like that, and took a day and a half to scout. And I mean, first place we go, we're driving in, I unload my dirt bike, I head up a trail, BJ, my right hand, he turns around the truck, and immediately a grizzly bear runs across the road. Like, son of a bitch. So talking to some locals in those mountains, I was like, oh yeah, no, those are mecca for grizzly bear. And I was like, man. I had a suspicion being as close to Yellowstone as it was, but
maybe they're just saying that to keep the elk to themselves, Jeff. Have you thought about that?
Had I seen elk and not grizzly bear, I would have probably thought that, but it was the other way around. We saw grizzly bear and not elk. I hunt. Yeah, I hunt all kinds of places where grizzly bears hang out, like it's North Idaho, but I just think the density's up there and hunting solo. I'm like, all right, let me look at some other places. So
yeah, no doubt. But I will say, I think I'm the most excited about elk season that I've been. I get pumped every year, but like this year, I feel like, and my brother, same thing. We both feel like we've finally gotten over the hump of like all the things that we need to do it. We've dialed our gear in, which I feel like is a hard thing to deal with. So we've got all of our boots are all tight. I've gone ahead and I bit the bullet on a Stone Glacier Chilkoot bag. The Kafaru pack, which I feel like an asshole because I've like calling them every 60 days. Like, are you moved yet? Are you moved? When does it ship? When does it ship?
Yeah.
I guess they had a problem with their new facility in Wyoming, and it delayed them a couple weeks more than they thought they were going to. So as of 2 days ago, they are they're like 98% confident that things will start hitting the mail real regular at the end, like maybe tomorrow or today or like Monday. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm waiting with bated breath to get my new pack and have at it.
So did you go Kufaru or Stone Glacier?
I went Kufaru. Stone Glacier for the sleeping bag, and then I went Kufaru for my pack.
Which
so I got the 44 Magnum.
Did you go with?
44 Magnum with the I got the 44 Magnum with the I think the tactical frame. I forget which one. I may have gone duplex, the light, but
their duplex light is probably the one you want. Yeah,
I can't remember which one I went with now.
But probably the duplex light. It's the one they recommend most of the time. Yeah.
I think so. And then I got a Sherman pouch to go on the front of it as well. And I got the handy Nalgene pouch that you had for the hip belt. And then I think I got a Claymore as well.
I don't think you drank water at all when we were bear hunting.
Me?
Yeah. So that Nalgene pouch will be good for you to have next to you.
I felt like I drank a lot of water. Maybe I didn't drink enough, but
no, that was beer, not water. That's what that was.
We were drinking Busch Light. That's water, though, right? That's Texas water.
It is.
That's Texas water.
Which thank you for that new addiction, by the way. I've been
Busch
lattes all summer,
dude.
I'm like, okay,
exactly. It's not a bad beer. I know people are always like, oh God, you drink that? I'm like, don't even start with me and your fucking IPAs and all that crap, right? Like, I get it. It's fine. It's good. But I'm not sitting and drinking IPAs. Yeah. Like, I'm not having 2 IPAs. Like, I'll just be hammered. Yeah. I can drink Busch Light all day long, still be hammered, but be functioning hammered, right? You know? And go out and do some stuff. Not just be like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what you need to rename the podcast. It's just functionally hammered.
Functionally hammered. Yeah. Instead of keep hammering, like whatever I'm sure Cam Haines' podcast is, ours just functionally hammered. We keep trying to talk to McDonald's about a sponsorship, you know, and Austin thinks our catchphrase should be low speed, high drag. So if McDonald's is listening, please. We eat your food already, so.
Yeah. So bear hunting, man. Abe, was this the first like dedicated bear hunt that you've been on?
It's not only the dedicated bear hunt, it's the first, like I've never been on a bear hunt before in general, right? I've never hunted big game in the spring. Right.
Yeah.
Unless you count turkeys, but I don't, right? So, or pigs, you know? It was great. I'll tell you, you know, I was like, that was perfect, you know, because we hunted our asses off, which just the shocking fact that it's light at 4 a.m.
Dude, that's so early.
Like, not like twilight, like daylight, right? Like, I'm looking outside my window right now, and it is daylight. It's 12:43 in the afternoon on a Friday, and it is daylight, and that is the same way it was at 4 o'clock in the morning where we were at. And so that was shocking to me, I'll be honest. And then the fact that it stayed light until 9:30, like, wow. So
you can do a lot of hunting in those hours. There's no question about that.
We scoured we put a lot of miles on, you know, that's for sure. It was awesome. And I'm like so pumped about, like, as pumped as I am for elk season. I'm like, I can't wait till like end of May, 1st of June, you know, like, because Austin is already like, and hearing me talk about it, he's already like, dude, you can count me in. So I guarantee you he'll be there next year. So we will have a 4-man crew at minimum.
So it's three dudes and Jeff, not just 2 dudes and Jeff.
It's 3 dudes and Jeff.
3 dudes and Jeff.
So that'll be a lot of fun to add a 4th. So I'm excited about it, man. It was just so much fun, and you know, obviously the one encounter. So I'm, you know, that's probably the last. I don't think we did share that story in terms of we waited I guess we found a pretty good little spot that we had to walk up to. We couldn't, it was no motorized access at all. And so Jeff and I hauled off, I can't think it was that Thursday evening.
Yeah, I think it was.
And covered 5 miles up and 5 miles back. And about 2,000 feet, 1,000 foot of elevation. I forget what it was.
Yeah, 2200, something like that. But before we go into sharing that unfortunate set of circumstances, like, it was interesting because all of the spring bear hunting I've done are places that you can't bait. And really, I don't think you're even running dogs up here. I mean, this is all considered North Idaho, but I'm actually North Idaho.
Yeah, you're the northest Idaho.
I'm the northernest. And so down there, there were outfitters that were baiting, and we were sitting in the bar and we were overhearing outfitters talk about how many bears are coming into their bait sites and all this stuff. And I think the majority of bears in that country don't really get that big. Like, you have to work really hard to find like a 300-pound bear, and so we just weren't seeing the bears. Like, up where I'm at, we would have glassed up far more bears in that time. Like, there's days where I'll glass up 6-8 bears. Doesn't mean you could do anything about it because they're so far away and it's so brushy up here. But, down there, we were really struggling to find bears. We were in perfect country, but I think that when you are spring bear hunting places where there are baits and dogs, it creates a concentration of bear activity. Oftentimes around the baits and dogs, there's so many roads and trails up there. The dog guys are running them all over the place. So, it may have been I think it was Wednesday that we did that because you guys went up there one other day and we headed out Friday, I think.
That's right. It was Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
We did see that sow and 2 cubs out. Was it Tuesday, Monday afternoon?
Something like that.
Yeah.
We saw only 2 prior.
Yeah. But, that spot that we went up into, I mean, I looked at it, there were some good logging roads and stuff, but even then it was like, until we got 3/4 of the way up there, we didn't see any bear sign. It was just void of bear sign. And I really think that this year the bear activity was a couple weeks delayed. Normally the week that we were hunting would have been like prime time. But there was so much snow still, exceptional snowpack, that it was just slower. So, but we got up there and, we cut some ridges. We went through some hell holes. We popped out and we were both just covered in ticks and like tired. We sat down to eat a snack and I'm just like walking a little circle around there and I come across a fresh pile of bear crap and I was like, oh, hey, look at that. Finally, we see some bear sign. And what did we packed back up and started heading back up the mountain, walking the old logging road. And how far was it till we hit that next bear pile?
I kind of like the next little switchback, or I think, right around the corner of the switchback that we were kind of walking up the straight side of. And then it was like, oh, there's another one. And
and then we hit the third pile and I was like, hey, we should. And as soon as I said that, I caught movement out of my eye and that freaking bear stepped out 75, 80 yards right in front of us, right on the trail. And he was pretty.
He was gorgeous.
What would you say? He's a chocolate, cinnamon? Everybody calls him something different.
I mean, I call him the cinnamon, just that golden brown, absolutely beautiful. And just was like, get a thumb safety for your gun. Or don't walk around with the safety,
Or don't
practice
be
horrible gun safety.
Shoot left-handed. I don't know, but
that's the other problem. So
But I mean, it was a straight up fire drill. Like we're standing in the middle of the road. And
we walked around it. Basically, kind of walked around a corner, and it was just like he looked at us, we looked at him. It was like, oh shit,
Yeah, and he did give us time. Like I threw my gun up, I got my gun on fur, and then that little voice in my head said, "Don't be an asshole. Let Abe kill his first bear."
Which, in hindsight, we should have. I wish you would have just been an asshole, and we could have at least laid hands on him. But that was. It just was one of those things. I just pulled up, and like I said, for those of you who don't know, I'm right-handed but left-eye dominant, so I shoot my gun left-handed, which means the safety's on the other side. So I have to kind of pull my gun down to be able to get the safety into the correct position. And by the time I did that, because I drew down on him and I got myself good and I pulled the trigger and, nothing happened because the safety was on. So that gun is now sitting in the back of my gun safe. Oh God. Yeah. So so I immediately, I have a 6.5 Creedmoor, which, I'm not ashamed to shoot. I'll be honest.
Comfortable with your sexuality. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm comfortable with myself. So you just shoot better, right? So I have a 6.5 that is got an AccuFire scope on it now, and is it has a thumb safety. So this problem will not occur again, and so we good. So I learned from my mistakes, and but it was of course that was just the one opportunity we had, and
yeah. Because it's, you always hope for an opportunity where you can, glass one up, have time, get a comfortable shooting set up, all that type of stuff. But it was a 3, maybe 4 second window max. Yeah. And that bear left the country. But the hard part was, so spring bears lose probably 40% of their body mass over the winter through hibernation. And when he walked the road, it was kind of one of those things where it's like bears are hard to judge. They're hard to judge until you see a big bear. And when you see a big bear, you're like, oh shit, that's a big bear. And that was an oh shit big bear. He was, for a spring bear, I had to put him 250 to 300 pound bear in that range. The bear I killed last year, a fall bear, was 250, 275. And when I saw this bear, I'm like, he's bigger than my last year's bear.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing is it was, you could tell he was a big bear. I mean, as somebody who's never seen a bear, you kind of know when and you were like, oh yeah, that was a good sized bear.
Like if you were to go 1-on-1 with it, you'd be down. Like,
no, I'm not I ain't trying to live that life. I mean, I guess getting scratched up would be kind of cool, but no, I'm okay.
Yeah, so that was sad. It was kind of cool walking that road though, because that little section, I mean, it was kind of like there was a bait site already set up. We went, after that bear took off, we couldn't relocate it. We kept going, and 200 yards up the road around the next corner, where we get close and we start smelling something dead, and there was a dead cow moose.
Yeah.
Right in that trail. And that bear was probably just camping on that trail, good grass. There was that moose for him to chew on, which was mostly eaten. I mean, it was pretty much his bones, but you could tell it was either a winter kill, predation kill, early spring, something like that. It got picked over pretty clean, but that was bear activity.
It was fun. It was such a blast. I mean, I'm so pumped about getting back up there next year, and now that I've got kind of like what I need to bring and versus what I don't need to bring, it'll be a little bit better. So I'll just like throw the pack in the plane with a gun and move on. And Austin and I going together, we'll throw both guns in one thing. So it'll be even better. So, and I didn't have to pay to check my bag on the way home, which was nice. So they made me pay for everything on the way up.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And then on the way back, she was like, just keep it. And if they make you check it, they'll just ground check it for you for free. I was like, I like your style.
That's cool. No, I think, for me, and this is what I told you ahead of time, is like elk is a different level of hunting. Like you are pushing really hard for elk. And spring bear, for me anyway, some people are insane about spring bear.
Sure.
I look at it and go, you know what, I haven't been out in the woods. Weather's finally nice. I want to go out, get away from technology. It was so great, the limited cell phone service we had there, because, and go hang out. And hopefully kill some bears, but have good food at camp. And
the food was excellent, chef.
It was.
The naps. How about the naps, though?
The naps, different level,
So good naps.
I think that's the thing is we were sleeping in a cot, so you're not really struggle busing at all through the whole thing, right? Which is pretty cool. I think that's, like you said, it's a perfect hunt. I enjoy it. I'm with you.
It's a good winter to summer reset too. Like, hey, like I'm not cooped up. Let's go adventure. Let's get out.
Let's get it.
We did a little fishing, and got some miles and saw some good country. I mean, honestly, it's like beautiful, and you're like, holy shit, look at all those steep mountains. A little steeper than what I have here in Fargo, but
I mean, I'm at right now. I am probably 2 feet above sea level. So it's there is not a mountain in sight. There's not even really probably a pretty good sized hill even near me. So I've just got to do a lot of squats to get ready for squats and step ups with a heavy pack to get ready for it. So
are you're going into elk early this year again and going to acclimate to the altitude?
Yep. It's a 2 week. It's just a 2 week thing for us now. It's just the only way for us to do it. I mean, James lives in Baton Rouge. I live in Houston now, so we're on the coast. So to try to go up to Colorado and where we hunt at 12,000 feet, you're gonna fucking die. Are you
archery or rifle for that one?
Rifle. It's first season. We drew the first season tag. So
nice.
I've got enough points next year that I can draw first rifle, but I may just put in, I don't know. It's like, do I put in for archery or do I go archery or do I go rifle? I'm taking my time on that decision, but I kind of want to kill one with a bow. I think that would be badass, but
it is badass. Abe, what research have you done into altitude sickness?
For me, it's just that you got to drink a bunch of water, but even then it's really kind of a personal, I think it affects everybody differently. So you just really have to get in and experience it. And, the only thing you can do to prevent it is, there's obviously some medication, but I think even with medication, people still get it. If they're susceptible to it, they're going to get it. You're going to get it, and it's hard to deal with it. For us, it's time, The first year we went up, we got hammered with it and we got sick and we had to come off the mountain. And the second year we went up and we stayed for 3 days, almost 4 days, down at 7,000 feet. And we went up to 11,000, 12,000 feet every day, just driving the truck over to different places, get out, walk around a little bit, and then go back down to 7,000 feet. And, we didn't even have an inkling of it. Right. We didn't even have any problem whatsoever with altitude sickness the entire time we were there, but it's acclimating. And fortunately, I work from home. James owns his own business. So the fact is that I can go work from a cabin in a lodge that we go to that has Wi-Fi. So I can go set my laptop up and work. And that's what I do is I'll just go work for, basically the week before season and just hang out, and we don't drink. We just drink water and eat and relax. And that seems to be the best cause personally for me. Right.
Yeah. The exact opposite of our bear hunt.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. So,
but no, that's, I think you're doing it right. I mean, just because, so many flatlanders are listening to this podcast, and want to go to Colorado. I don't know why, but I know more people that have gotten altitude sickness in Colorado, myself included. Yeah. And I've spent a ton of time high altitude. But Colorado, when I was living down in Fort Worth, Colorado would kick my ass. I've never been kicked before. And I think the most important thing is exactly what you're doing, which is just go plan a couple extra days to acclimate. Mm-hmm. Go stay at 7,000-8,000 feet. And even then, I was talking to Barklow last weekend at TAC, and he's like, even then go, stay at 7-8 for 3 or 4 days, feel good. go play 10.
Yeah.
Stay at 10, for a day or two, and then push all the way up. But I think where you're at, where you guys can get up to 12, that like intermittent, 8 to 12, consistently varying every single day. I think that's the perfect recipe.
Where we can go, so James will go shoot, and we'll go shoot, just dial in rifles. We'll go shoot, and that's like 9-8. So we'll go do that for an hour or two, or just taking our time and just hang out and, just relaxing, not doing anything. We'll just drive around in glass and nothing strenuous. Right. And just, it seemed to, we were talking about it the other day, that it seems to just do the trick in terms of kicking that to the curb as far as any type of that. And we last year was the most strenuous journey up the mountain, because they got I think 26, 27 inches of snow. And the way we go up is on a southern hillside. So it's just shaded, or it's a northern hillside. I don't know, one of them. So, it is, it's northern. So it doesn't get much melt. And so we post holed up the side of that mountain, in shin knee deep snow, fresh snow at that. Right. And so, it was even more of a strenuous exercise than it would normally be in climbing that high, because you're going through shin and knee deep snow the entire time. We got up to the top of the mountain when we were coming out of the tree line, and James fell into snow. Like, it had drifted into the corner of one of the trails so deep that he did not hit the bottom. He didn't hit the ground, and he was chest deep in snow, and thankfully, got him out, and, and he broke snow all the way up the mountain. And we, so we stopped, we took our time, but, we took our time the first year we went. And if we didn't get altitude sickness doing that, I think that's what speaks volumes to the acclimation of it all.
Yeah. No. Well, that's cool, man. I'm so stoked for you guys, because you guys have had enough seasons up there, dealt with the different variables. Yeah. And every year you've been on elk. Yeah. And you've gotten damn close every year, and it's probably the same herd, and you know exactly what they're doing, where they're moving, where they're going to be. So, you guys, I have zero doubt that you're both going to fill your tags this year. It's going to be freaking epic.
I'm hoping so. It's, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. I tell you, I was like, can I get a bear tag? And it's like that, you got to draw bear up there now, but they closed the over the counter in that unit. So, but it was I'm pumped. And Eric, you've got tags. We all got tags. I think it's just, as much as I enjoy whitetail hunting, and obviously I'm going to whitetail hunt this year, I'm just kind of like, I'm super excited about elk even more. So.
There's that Colorado elk hunt is the first year I went, we were the guys from Minnesota that drove straight through the night and get there on no sleep, and then our trailers trying to drive through these logging roads, and we're cutting down trees and just out of breath completely by the time we get there. Luckily I didn't have any altitude sickness, but there is something to be said about getting there beforehand, and you're getting acclimated for the strenuous activity so that you're not out of breath as you're climbing, as you're just hunting.
Physically worn down.
Yeah, because it's so much harder to breathe, so much harder to recover at those altitudes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But I think it's great. And obviously for Texas, Colorado's pretty close, and the over-the-counter opportunity and the proximity of it is why it's, I think, so popular, and why I see so many Texas license plates in the parking lot.
That's one thing I'm worried about. Looking at my dad and my buddy's dad, they're both 60, 65. My dad was pushing 300 last year. He's losing some weight this year, and so there's that weight aspect. And I'm like, Dad, you gotta lose some weight. We have some climbs that's a little bit where the Airbnb thing is coming in to just help at night from the recover down low at the bottom of the mountain. And all our trailheads are accessible where we're hunting basically from. And so it's going to be like, all right, as me as a younger guy, I might be a little more acclimated or better recovery, hopefully. I'll be like, you guys take your time. We've been e-scouting. I don't know if you've done any of that e-scouting or looked at much about the stuff from Mark Livesey, but put together a plan for them. And I say, here's the pins. Here's a spot that's easy to get to for glassing for you guys up this trail. Take your time to get up there. Don't kill yourself. I don't want a heart attack. I came to haul 300 pounds of elk out, not 300 pounds of dad out. So
yeah,
that's the truth.
So just take your time and get up there. But I think the recovery coming back down, that first year for you, you're like, all right, come down. Or that second year when you guys were doing that base camp down low and then going up is something nice.
Yeah, it's the way to do it for sure. So.
Well, outside of elk, what else do the two of you have on the agenda for this fall? I mean, obviously, Abe, I know you're gonna get into your waterfowl addiction.
Oh yeah, and I had ducks in my canal the other day, and I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, I'm already out scouting for birds, and I mean, really, right now, obviously, there are no birds down here. But what I'm doing is I'm just new to an area, so I run around and I look for spots. And obviously, Austin and I have a difference of opinion, but I just like, where are places that are potential? Because like you can look on a map and you can say, okay, these are going to be shallow little areas. These are going to be places you can go to. But it's one thing to like e-scout something. It's another thing to like put your feet on the street, right? And so to me, I like to spend this time of the year really looking at those spots that I've kind of picked out as like new spots or old spots even that I've used in the past, and just seeing like what's the water condition now. Obviously it can change in 60, 90 days. But just kind of understand like, okay, I was there on August 5th and the water level was X. So I know pretty much in 2 months, if the water level is still X, it's going to look like it did in August, right? And so that's my big thing right now, is just going through and trying to navigate some of the areas, like some of the little bays and that are right on the corner of private and public, and knowing which one you can, where it's like, oh, like that is not good. You can't go there, but there's a duck blind right there. So it's a little bit of some new navigation for me, because up in Dallas, it's fairly simple. It's a lake. You're on the lake, you're good to go. Right. Yep. And down here, it's a little bit more of a, well, this is like, so on the left side, I can, but on the right side, I can't, or vice versa is challenging. So.
Nice. There you go. So whitetail, elk, ducks. They're going to kill some pigs. Any mule deer on the agenda this year? Because you've gone out to West Texas and beat your head against the wall trying to find mule deer out there before.
We've got I think 10 days before Texas releases the draw hunt. And I've got 6 points, which I don't know if that probably doesn't mean jack shit, but I've got 6 points for all the mule deer hunts. So maybe I'll draw one this year. I draw one of those, then obviously that becomes the focus. But yeah, we'll go out to, it's the only public land you can go to, so I don't care about saying it, but Meredith, we'll go up there, we'll hunt ducks, around the same time. And so we typically wake up in the morning, hunt ducks, and then strap a pack and a rifle on and go try to kill a mule deer during the afternoon. And then come back and hunt ducks in the evening. So it's a different kind of, cast and blast, hike and blast, so, but that's a lot of fun. I mean, that's as close to a Western hunt you can get in the state of Texas is to go up there, because I mean, granted, you're either flat or you're in a canyon, but it's, it is as close to wide open, get to a glassing point, sit and put your glass to work as you're going to get, because you guys, I mean, you're not doing that in most places in Texas just because it's too either forest or brush that you can't see through. So
yep, that's cool. Eric, and are you mule deer hunting this year, I believe?
Right? I got 2 mule deer tags, one Montana, one Colorado, so that'll be good. The benefit for me is that I am moving next week out west, so
really
moving to Coeur d'Alene, so being closer to Montana will be beneficial for that tag, so I can go out on either weekends or take a couple extra days off work. But the Colorado one's a second season, so that's like a 10 days away from office that I gotta dedicate to that. So
Yeah.
Or unless I get it done faster, but go down there with a buddy from Coeur d'Alene, so we're heading down, and it should be a good group little hunt. So
that's awesome.
That's gonna be badass, man. Mule deer are special. Like I mean, elk in September, it really doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Like bugling elk, but outside of September elk, mule deer are hands down my favorite thing to hunt. I can't wait. So yeah, I've got Idaho, Montana tags as well this year, and it's weird. Like up where I'm at, I'm sitting here looking at the giant mule deer buck I killed, and that year I put 200 miles on my boots during deer season looking for mule deer, and I saw one fork and horn buck, and then this 8.5-year-old giant that I killed. And it's Idaho's, there's other places in Idaho. You go central, southern Idaho, and you see a lot more animals, but up here you just don't see them. But when you do, you see a mature buck, they're usually nasty slobs, just stickers and kickers and junk everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a blast. I absolutely love it.
I would 100% love to kill a big mule deer. That would be a lot of fun. Depending on how duck season goes, and if I, can wrangle it, because I'm about to, as you know, widow the wife. So it's that time of the year. So if I can convince her to let me go to Arizona in January, there may be an over-the-counter Arizona hunt. So,
attaboy. You really should. I forgot. I'm going to do that too. So we're doing an elk shape camp in Arizona this year, and realistically, the reason we're going, one, there's a lot of elk hunters there, but two, is because we just want to go hunt. And so why not have business pay for a business trip?
Yeah,
and by the way, I'm just going to be archery mule deer hunting for a week as well. So
the opportunity to go hunt the kaibab, basically, which I'll never be able to draw an elk tag for mule deer over the counter, and just be like, I'd love to see an elk, that's on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, would be kind of cool. So I don't know, we're looking at, I'm going to try to do that, but I got to try to figure out which one of my nerd friends I can convince into going with me on that. So
yeah, well, let's keep talking about that, because I know we're going to be out there, and maybe you just need to plan on. We're going to be in Texas as well for an elk shape camp, so probably easier for you to come to that one. But if it lines up, man, maybe we got to get you to a camp. So
I would love to. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the Texas one this year. I've already got that one penciled in for sure. But if you're going to be in Arizona, might as well.
Yeah. Might as well.
Go to both. Oh yeah. See. Wow. What's better than one elk shape camp? 2 elk shape camps. That way you're getting double your information.
Yeah. You should probably come to one first.
let's check one, and then let's go to consecutive years, and then I'll go to 2 in 1 year. But
they are pretty awesome.
No, I'm excited about it. I've got my I went ahead and purchased the Easy Sucker that I saw. So I got that one, and it's pretty awesome, man. I'll tell you, for just a kind of, just an easy to use, like little, cow call. It's great,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it looks, it sounds pretty good too. I haven't sucked on one yet, but it's
maybe when you see Abe next, he'll let you suck on his.
Yeah, I don't know if we're at that level yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's great, man. Like I said, it's a perfect little I guess one to have, especially if you're going to be bow hunting kind of by yourself or don't have somebody to call. But it's easy to use. I don't know. I like it. So that's all I do now.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, you didn't even hear it?
I didn't. No. That's super weird. You're.
It must be the the background, the noise canceling must be canceling.
Oh, that's what it. I bet it's the frequency of it is being canceled out. That's so crazy because
I mean, it looks gay as shit, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So you're going for it.
I mean, it's called the Easy Sucker. I feel like that's somebody's. Like, I definitely feel like that's old Jeff's handle on Grindr.
We didn't match with anybody on any of those. I didn't match anyone on the dating apps down in Idaho. So
well, it was. I'm like I said. I'm like so looking forward to the to Bear Hunt 2023. So. Like I said, Austin's already ate up with it as well. So he's like, I'm going for sure this year. He's like, I wish it would have worked out last year, but so that'll be tight.
Well, we'll have to we'll have to have some conversations about maybe coming up early and setting some baits. I think that'd be a shit ton of fun. And I think some of the places we were at down there, it's like that's probably just the way you need to hunt it. Is set up baits because you just can't compete. Those bears are so hungry in the spring, and when there's food, that's where they're going to be. So, and you can't do like Eric and sit someone else's bait and get your ass kicked by a 60-year-old man.
Dude, like, can you imagine?
He wasn't there.
No, I mean, you were in full right. He was on public land, baiting on public land. So.
I don't know I'm guessing the etiquette of that is probably like sitting in someone else's tree stand. But, I honestly, at that point in the hunt, I think it was like last full day or something like that. Yeah. And
it was the same night. It was the same night you guys were walking and almost had that trail.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, I was like a mile from camp on the road. And I'm like, well, I'll go run down some other trails. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just see if anything's working down the ridge. So I walked the same trail below you guys, but because the thermals were coming down by that point at night, I was like, I have no idea. I was just trying to find something.
Yeah.
No bear. And then I had camp going. I'm like, where are they? I'm like, whatever.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then I got criticized. My fire was weak as shit. And then I was like, I didn't want to burn all the wood. Until you guys got back.
It was a Boy Scout fire.
Wood is designed to burn.
Dude, I'm an Eagle Scout. That's what happens. Yeah. When you have camp build it bigger than the waist of the smallest dude at camp.
If Austin's there next year, we will have 2 Eagle Scouts in camp. He's an Eagle Scout as well. So now he's a degenerate as bad as the rest of us. So Eric, you are going to. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Now, I mean, the old.
This is my second pack too, guys, since camp. So.
See, I'm not. I'm still on the Garrett wagon. So I just bought a fresh pack yesterday. So.
What's the Garrett wagon?
Levi Garrett's the way to go, man. That's my favorite.
Oh.
Is it?
When you're in Texas, I'll tend to agree with you. I think Levi Garrett is. It's
tasty.
Shoe.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, can I call it Redman still? Is this like, the Cleveland Indians have had to change their name to the Commander, not the Commander. That's the Redskins are the Commanders, but the Cleveland is something else now. Like, I forget, they're no longer the Cleveland Indians. So, can we still call Redman, or is it just America's Best? It's got to be America's Best.
I think on it. Or on the website, they say same Redman flavor. So, I mean, they're still using it within their marketing.
They just have it as a smaller.
Yeah. They just put smaller print for racial sensitivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, we're only saying it in small print, so it's not as bad.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Oh, well.
Well, boys.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next season.
Oh,
we're here. Good. Yeah, we definitely will get. I definitely want to get you guys back on for post elk recap. So maybe like November.
For sure.
I mean, you're going through. So you'll be done by November for elk, right?
I hope so.
The Montana tags go until when? Like Thanksgiving, technically.
Yeah, I think Thanksgiving is when they wrap up.
Yeah.
But the goal is to be done. At least I know Jeff's goal is to be done earlier. I gotta fit it in. Yeah. I'm fitting the Weekend Warrior with elk in Montana because of my 2 Colorado hunts. So
oh darn!
Shucks.
Shucks.
The
life of elk every weekend.
The life of a single guy.
Dude, don't ever grow up. Stay the same age. Ever grow up. It's a trap.
Always stay young.
Yeah. Like I said,
stay a D-gen.
Cameron, I swear to God, Cameron, who is a buddy who moved to Montana, like literally in his house, all he had was Yeti coolers as furniture. And like a chair, a camp chair, right? So like I was like, this is the life, man. He had a kayak in his apartment.
He had like a kerosene lamp as like light at night too. Just
no, but like totally that guy that would have a kerosene lamp. Yeah. So I was gonna say if you need somebody to kind of help scout for you in Montana, that he'll go do it for you for sure. So.
Oh, he's a badass. He's young, freaking built like an ox.
That guy is fucking.
I just want to call him. I want to call him when I kill something and be like, "Hey, how's your back?
Come get this shit out of here." He'll probably just throw it over his shoulder like Cam Haynes does and just carry that bitch down. You're like, "I got your pack, dude."
Yeah. So, all right, gents.
All right, everybody.
Back to work for me. I got to finish up the day.
Here. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry, this has been I think the only podcast that has taken us 4 months to record, but we finally got it done. So
hey, 3 months.
3 months. I don't tell time very well. So it is either hunting season or not hunting season. So and even if it's not hunting season, it's fishing. So, but appreciate everybody listening. Thank you guys for joining in, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Q Braley.
Stormwater Creek is the best. Grinch, the captain. Aim, the helper. Jordan, the problem solver. I hope you like Stormwater Creek. Stormwater Creek.